Saturday, April 4th, 7:04 in the evening. This is Razor Wire. Fitz, we've got a unique show tonight. I think we have a virtual winner for Narrative of the Week. And it probably belongs to a whole, what would you call it? Is it a genre of narratives? Is it what kind of classification is this? Because this takes up a massive area.
Yeah, they took up a lot of space this week. I'll tell you, I mean, no pun intended. It's getting thick out there, man. Thick. Like you step out of the house and I feel like I'm having to swim through Jello. Just to like get my day going and get through all the bullshit that is just it's just an onslaught all the time. And I mean, even today we had the whole lefty narrative coming out that President Trump was at the medical center, and it turns out it was just a concerted effort by a bunch of left-leaning morons. What did someone call them? Weapons grade morons.
Yeah, Rapid Response 47 said they're weapons grade idiots or something like that.
Yeah, and so it's that is constant. So to achieve what you just spoke of, to achieve the narrative of the week is a big deal, especially this week. And I feel like NASA brought it home this week. They really did a great job.
They absolutely did. We've got a lot. We've got DEI in space. That was fantastic. We needed a plumber and tech support to log in and fix their Outlook. It was a fantastic start to the week as far as overblown narratives go. And like we were talking about last week, the launch just kind of snuck up. Nobody was really talking about it very much, and then all of a sudden, hey, it's here. Hey, let's go to the moon. It's awesome. Let's go ahead and do this. So that definitely dominated the week. Birthright Citizenship went to the Supreme Court. So we've got jackassery from DEI Ketanji Jackson, which, by the way, if you want to get citizenship in Japan now, Fitz, we can just go over there and I think we can just steal something. I think that's how it works.
Yeah. Steal a bike, steal a wallet. God. She is such an idiot. And look, I'm not saying I'm ever going to be nominated to the Supreme Court, okay? But I have met several judges in my years, and they all, whether they're left-leaning or right-leaning or they're conservative or liberal, they're all fairly intelligent. I honestly don't know how she got there. She is an absolute piece of work. Yeah, I look, I mean, what country do you want to go to? If you get tired of the U.S., let's just go steal something in Costa Rica or Belize or Japan, I guess.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Pam Bondi was fired.
It looks like there's some other firings coming, too. I mean, we know a lot of generals got let go this week as well. I don't even know a lot of these guys' names, which, is probably a good thing. We probably shouldn't know who the top generals leading our armies are. But, yeah, I mean, Kash Patel looks like he's sort of on the chopping block. I mean, I guess Hegseth is worried about his job, so that's why he's firing all these generals. It's a clusterfuck right now, man, on so many levels.
It's our timeline. That's what it is.
Well, and Tim Dillon had a great, absolutely great rant on all of this, but he basically said, Pam Bondi, she came in just ready to take no prisoners, and she literally took no prisoners, like literally no convictions, none.
She didn't.
And then he's like, yeah, she came in guns a-blazing and nothing happened. Like absolutely nothing happened in her tenure as AG. And I was hopeful for her. I really was, because she did talk tough. And I was hoping we were going to get, pedophiles hanging from lampposts kind of stuff. And instead we are in this same exact place, essentially, that we were when she was nominated as AG.
Yeah, it's well, like we said, we've been very consistent. The rest of it doesn't matter.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens with the next guy. We'll probably be disappointed. The swamp will stay as it is, but
Yeah.
we'll have some really good beers to drink. I think that's the good part.
That's the moral of the story.
What beer do you have over there?
Oh, right. I guess we're drinking. This is a brewery that I've never heard of before. It's called I look, I'm gonna butcher the name, so I'm just gonna say it. Okay, I believe it's Una Annie, Uneanee, and one of the E's has a nice little fancy European mark over it. Um, it's in Illinois, I believe. Niles, Illinois is where this brewery's from. And I went out and checked out their website, and they do a lot of really old world, old school stuff. Now, all you can get online is what they have on tap at their pub house right now. So
Oh,
I
really?
don't know that my beer is going to be anywhere near any of these, but they do a lot of triples, Marzens. They do a Grand Monde, a La Soul, a Creek, a Kolsch. So a lot of uh, Western European old school beer styles. They've also got a couple of imperial stouts, a Bananas Foster and a vanilla Skyline Imperial Stout. So they do some updated stuff too. But anyway, I poured this beer. It poured a nice amber, which led me to believe that I was looking at like a Marzen or something.
Okay.
But the smell I'm getting is that of a farmhouse or a triple.
Really?
Yeah. So it's a darker triple, and I'll tell you, it's got that banana subtlety kind of undertone to it. I'm wondering if I don't have a higher ABV because you start recasking these things, and that banana bread flavoring starts to come out. So anyway, that's my guess. I haven't even tasted it yet, so let's see what we got.
So they're a pretty unique, like you were saying, they're a pretty unique brewery. We actually get Hubbard's Cave out here, and Hubbard's Cave is part of their shtick. They
Their lineup,
do,
yeah.
yeah, they do some of the heavier, more of a mainstream beer, but they also roll a lot of their heavy stuff out through Hubbard's Cave. So they're a neat little brewery.
Yeah, they
So what are you
are.
working with?
I'm guessing this is at least a triple. This could be a quad. Lot of banana. You can taste the alcohol in there. It runs kind of hot, but it's not unpleasant. It's actually a really nice, very sort of a nice blended flavor profile. Like nothing sticks out too much, other than the fact I know I'm drinking an Abbey style beer here. I don't think it's more than a Dubel. It's got to be a triple or a quad. So
Makes
let's see
sense.
what we got here. Yeah. Okay. Um, yeah, the name of this beer is One, so that's cool. One. There's just a one on the can.
Oh,
And it is a quad. It's an Abbey Ale quad, 11% by alcohol. So this is a no no holds barred beer here.
wow.
Yeah, very very good. I'm very impressed by it. So smooth. But I'm already working up a sweat, dude. I've had two sips and I can feel the heat.
I think your missus is trying to get you drunk tonight.
Yeah, maybe there's a little plot twist here for the rest of the evening, which I am here for. I'm not gonna lie, I'm here for it. Yeah. So great beer. What are you drinking?
I have Orchard Dread, a double dry hopped hazy IPA. This is one from Bonehouse Brewing out in Hefe's neck of the woods. I haven't had a bad Bonehouse beer, which is funny because
No,
it's
great
a
brewery.
very small brewery too. Very small. So it's a storefront, a little tap, and that's like it. Um, so if you you guys can look at the can. You guys can go out to bonehousebrewing.com. It's got a specter out in the middle of a field, and they do nice can art. It's all very creepy. It's all very very cool. So yeah, I'll go and I'll dive in here. Smell right off the bat, piney, but I can tell it's gonna be a little on the sweet side. It's definitely a very much a hazy. A little rude. That's the dry hop part, but tasty. It's not a sweet dippa like I like. So we'll see how that goes. I've got a little bit of a challenge tonight. I went to a new tap house. I guess it's kind of new. I didn't realize it was here, honestly. It's about 4 miles from my house out in Queen Creek. And I went in yesterday. They had a cool little, like I guess it was a Cuban food truck set up. And then you walk in. You remember the old school, the old school like Circle K's. For you guys aren't going to know this out in listener land, but Puke. You remember what Puke looked like?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, with the storefront. It was a super old 70s built Quick Mart. Okay, with the big front end, the big front entrance. It's all glass. Well, they blew out the glass
in the front. Yep.
They blew out the glass, threw in garage doors. They had the whole front of the building open. They had music playing. It was really, really nice. Great vibe there. It's called the Sacred Pint, which is very, very fitting. And it's nestled back in a neighborhood, which I thought was pretty cool. But the reason I'm telling you this is that I found some beers that I haven't seen before. I have one, which is actually my side bitch. It's Black Hills Blonde Strawberry, and it's by Sturgis Brewing Company. It's absolutely heinous. It is a terrible beer. I hate this. They don't do a blonde ale. Don't try and make it fruity. You don't have to do that. And then on top of it, if you're gonna go ahead and make it with an extract, strawberry extract's a really bad fucking idea.
Oh yeah, that's bad. That's like the old strawberry gum, the old Hubba strawberry gum. It's terrible.
Oh my God, yes, that's exactly what it tastes like. Yep. Exactly what oh man, that's just it's a headache. It's a fucking headache.
You know, the one beer they did really well, I say they, I mean all brewers everywhere, where you know they made a solid blonde, and then they gave it a hint, was Orange Blossom. That is such a solid beer by Papago Brewing, and I don't even know, I don't know if they're still around, but that was such a good beer. But you're right, it's so easy to overpower the actual fact that you're drinking a beer, and it just becomes one of these dumb fucking flavored seltzers. No offense to anyone that drinks those, but you know, at least they tell you what you're drinking up front on the can. It's a flavored seltzer. It's got a little bit of alcohol in it. Have fun. To have a beer like that and add in that strawberry crap that's a crime against humanity, man. That's not okay.
Well, just to make things more depressing for you, they are still making Papago or Orange Blossom.
Oh, didn't they sell out though?
They did sell out, and the recipe is now an extract. You can totally tell it. There's a little bit too much vanilla. The orange isn't. They're not using the sweet oranges. Because there's everybody out there in the listener. There's such thing as an Arizona orange. It's a very sweet orange. It's fantastic. Love it. Making orange juice out of it is just absolutely fantastic. That's what they used to use for that beer, and now they're using an extract. And I actually had one the other day just to see. I'm going to go and try it again because hey, nostalgia. Well, it was garbage. So but don't use extracts. That
makes
guys.
me sad.
It's really not hard. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah,
that's
no,
okay.
I actually had that exact talk with my wife last night. Actually, it was last night, and you know we were at the store trying to pick out some like my side bitch and just my beer for the weekend, and they are a dime a dozen now of vanilla stouts, and I won't touch them anymore because they're all the fake vanilla.
Yep.
It's not like they're throwing a vanilla bean in there and letting it permeate. They're doing that fake extract shit, and you can just tell. As soon as you open the can, you can tell. I won't touch them.
Yeah, it's a real deal. It's a real problem. First world problem. I'm not gonna lie to you, but
for sure, right?
When you like the dark beers, when you like a certain style, when you like, it's like anything else. Once it goes corporate, it goes sideways.
Yep. Make it cheap. They won't be able to tell.
Exactly.
can
Kind of
tell.
like Reese's, who's flipped they're going back to their old recipe. I thought that was a neat
Yes,
story this week.
finally. Yeah, that was a good news, feel good story of the week. Yeah, was it the grandson who was
Yes,
like, Man, we're making crap stuff right now and people don't like it, so we're going back to the old recipe. Good for you, kid. And I don't even know if he's a kid. Maybe he's our age. I don't know. But good for him. Sometimes the way they used to do it is superior. Sometimes.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And here's the thing too. You have with the whole MAHA, um, narrative. The MAHA, I guess. Well, it's a push. It's a straight up push, which I'm
Yeah.
fine with it. I wouldn't call
Yeah.
it a narrative. It's an actual thing. It's been going on too long. It's too consistent. It's right on point. But you're seeing a lot of that stuff where we're going back to actual sugar. We're going back
Yeah.
to actual ingredients that aren't going to kill you or shouldn't.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. And if you make Reese's great again, especially Reese's peanut butter cups, and stop, hosing me on, especially on the size, because I want a full fucking pack of that. I have a
Right.
huge thing for Reese's. And
Same.
Reese's
That was
Pieces
always
too.
my favorite, but now I don't like it.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
glad they're going
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. And I think, and the best thing for me was when they changed those recipes and it started to suck,
Right.
because I'm like, all right, I'm
Right.
done. All right, cool.
Yeah, I'm not eating them. Yeah.
Thanks for playing. Anyway.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, this isn't even on the dock. I'm gonna go off roading. I'm gonna take a personal
Yeah,
point
yeah.
of liberty here.
Absolutely.
Um,
You have the floor.
Okay. Recently, as recent as the Iran war starting, RFK, who again, the reason I'm bringing this up, you brought up MAHA. I think RFK is actually doing a great job. I think he's getting mired down in the politics and just the red tape of it all. But I
Right.
think he's pushing. But did you see what he did this week? Last week. And I just recently found out about this. He actually ramped up the production of glyphosate, calling it a national security issue.
No.
Now glyphosate, glyphosate is the stuff that's in Roundup. Go out and look it up. Do your homework. It's known to cause cancer, like not just any kind of cancer, all the cancers, basically. I mean, if you look at the state that uses the most glyphosate in the United States is Iowa. They use the most glyphosate per capita. Guess who has the highest cancer rates in all of America? Iowa. So it's like the correlation
Naturally.
is there, right? And and so he called it a national security issue, and that we need to be making more of this shit. Now, I thought Monsanto I thought they got in big trouble for glyphosate, and that they were, pulling it back, and that they were trying to find a substitute for it so that we could have another weed killer, another pesticide that didn't cause cancer. And now here we are, making it a national security issue. What the fuck? That one really just threw me for a loop, because I was in his corner, and now I don't know what are they just trying to kill us? Is that what's going on?
Well, here's a clip. We're doing this.
I have some great news from the glyphosate cancer world. There is a paper that was published in 2000. It's called the Williams paper. This study has been relied on by the EPA for 2 decades to claim that glyphosate doesn't cause cancer. Well, during the cancer litigation, the lawyers found that paper was actually ghostwritten by Monsanto. That was bought fraudulent science that had no place whatsoever in regulation. Well, so even though we've been telling the EPA this, you shouldn't rely on this paper, they still have been. Well, that paper was just retracted from the academic journal where it was originally published for exactly these reasons, that it was fraudulent science. So now the EPA won't be able to rely on this foundational piece that they always point to claim that glyphosate doesn't cause cancer. So that is a win today in the pesticide world.
Jesus. I mean, for all the people out there that say trust the science, that's why I can't. That's why we have trust issues. That kind of shit happens all the time. The sugar industry paying for the papers that all said that cholesterol is bad for you, that fats are bad for you. We know that they are good for you. They are necessary and you need them now. We know that. But I mean, time after time, again, the climatologists that are like, global warming's happening, and then you look at who they were paid by, and it's people that are pushing that narrative. And so, trust the science, people. Go fuck yourselves, because this happens more often than actual pure science, where people are just out there trying to find the fucking truth.
But isn't this really the way? We have so many papers that have been fraudulently written over the last 20, 30, 40 years that they've thrown out the science. Somebody's financing it. Somebody's bankrolling it to push the data in one direction only, just so they can go ahead and there's nothing consistent, and there's nothing that's, where's the truth? And none of us are going to know.
No, that's the point, I think. I mean, that's it. That's right. That's the point.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because you actually have a hell of a week as far as science to get to. I know we're just kind of lumping that one in there, but I think that's a good one to kind of drop in. The FDA lifted restrictions on peptides also. I thought that was interesting.
Big one. Oh, that's huge. I'm highly interested in this one, because just from a standpoint of injuries alone, right? I mean, just the injuries that you and Hefe and I sustained back in the years, because we really just treated our bodies like shit. All the sports we played, and peptides are huge, sort of like turbochargers for your mitochondria, and they help healing. Even old injuries, they'll help heal. But also, just from a standpoint of recovery from my workouts, peptides are a huge thing. And up till recently, you had to get a doctor's note, for lack of a better term, to even get a hold of peptides, to even talk about peptides. And so if they're going to deregulate them, that's huge. To be able to just go on Amazon and order a month's supply of peptides, and then I can basically, between creatine and the peptides, I can push my body as hard as physically hard as possible, and still be ready to go again the next day. That's huge. That is insane. And I that's a huge one. I'm glad you brought that one up, because I'm very excited about that. And I hope it goes through. I mean, I hope it's not just hyperbole.
Well, I'm hoping also, but we'll see. We'll see. I think there's going to be some hurdles to get through. I think you're going to see a lot of fake companies popping up with fake,
sure,
peptides and stuff like that. So that's going to be another hurdle. But we'll see what the FDA does with it. But again, at least that's going in the right direction. They also abolished MAHA, or Kennedy. Actually, they're abolishing inhumane testing on animals also. You would think the left would be like all about this, but you didn't hear anything from PETA. You didn't hear anything from those hacks. Nobody gave a shit. The Humane Society, nothing. It's
Crickets.
Almost like, well, now we're not going to get funding for fighting that. This is bullshit. What do I do now?
Right. You just took their legs out from under them, because that's the only reason they exist. Yeah, no, this is a win for all of humanity, but also for all of, animal kind. That whole, I forget who said it. I used to know, but that whole thing about, you can judge a society by how they treat their prisoners. I think in modern day, sort of morality, you can judge a society by how we treat our animals. And there's a huge dog culture. I know you love your dogs. I would lay down my life for my dogs or my cats. I mean, they're parts of the family. And then to know that there are facilities where, various apes, dogs, mice, pigs are being subjected to awful, what it essentially comes down to torture, just so that we know if stuff is going to work with our skin or our body chemistry, is absolutely insane. This is a huge win. I hope this goes through. I hope this is a real deal, and that they push it through, and that we end this animal testing, because it's awful. If you've seen any of those videos, man, it's hard to watch.
It really is. It really is. Let's stick with science, shall we? Let's go to the diversion of the week. Sound good?
First half of the show being science. Are you kidding me? I got a giant science hard on right now. This is great.
Scientific boners, right? That's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
You take the truth, you take the spin. You mix them up and there you have Oh, the diversion of the week. The diversion of the week. They flash the lights and ring the bell. A shiny story, can't you tell? While the big stuff slips right by, they keep you laughing, keep you high. Diversion of the week. Eyes off the ball. Stay asleep. Diversion of the week. Sha-la-la-la. Don't look too deep.
Fitz, we went to the moon this week. Artemis cleared. Well, it might have cleared the atmosphere. It might be going to the moon.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe
we're kind of still on the way.
We're kind of out there. We're doing stuff. Again, we said this in the very beginning. All of this just kind of snuck up. And the news stories that accompanied this were, I don't know, maybe, well, here, let's go to Fox News.
The vehicle's ready to go. Among the crew are the first woman, first person of color, and first Canadian on a lunar mission, Jonathan. So there's a lot of firsts happening here. And all 4 astronauts will represent the best of humanity as they explore the benefit of all. That is the words of the director of NASA's Johnson Space Center. And here they are in a magical photo op. Jonathan, tell us a little bit more about these astronauts.
Really hope that.
Yeah, so Victor Glover, who is the pilot on this mission, and he actually had some words on that while he acknowledged that he will be the first person of color to travel this far, the first astronaut of color to venture into deep space, and I define that as beyond low Earth orbit, something that has not been done by any astronaut since the Apollo missions of the 1960s and early 70s, the last one being Apollo 17 in 1972. All of those original early Apollo astronauts were white males. Well, Victor Glover said that while he loves the fact that there may be kids of color who see him in themselves and say, oh, wow, what is he doing? I can do that. He says that he looks forward to a day that people aren't talking about these firsts and that everyone is seen as just an astronaut there representing all of our hopes and dreams and working for the benefit of humanity. A phrase that that several of the astronauts have used is by all, for all. They say that this mission is for all of humanity. They recognize that while these 4 astronauts are the tip of the spear at this mission, they cannot do what they're doing without hundreds, actually thousands of people, not only NASA employees.
We look forward to the day when we're not talking about race, but here we are, we're talking about race.
But that's all we're going to talk about.
What a fucking joke.
And that was Fox. That wasn't even like some liberal, CNN, CNBC. That was Fox, and they still couldn't help themselves but talk about it. And I definitely appreciate that black astronaut's comments when he was like, what the fuck are you saying? He basically was like, look, why are you bringing this up? It's not, look, we're going for all of humanity. Like, I'm just a guy.
Well, here,
and yes, Oh, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Is a big question, and I want to highlight, I guess maybe one facet of this is the tension, I call it. I live in this, this dichotomy between happiness that a young woman can look at Christina and just physicalize her passion or her interest, or even if it's not something she wants to do, she can just be like girl power, and that's awesome. And that young brown boys and girls can look at me and go, hey, he looks like me and he's doing what? And that's great. I love that. But I also hope we are pushing the other direction, that one day we don't have to talk about these first, that one day this is just, and I listen to this, that this is the human history. It's about human history. It's the story of humanity, not black history, not women's history, but that it becomes human history.
Fucking nailed it. You fucking nailed it. That's all you had to say. That was perfect. It's great. You acknowledge it. Now let's move on. We don't have to talk about that stuff. The Sky News, and I don't know if I have the clip for that. I thought I had it. Oh, wait. Guess what? Here's Sky News being racist.
historic war, we're going for all humanity, he said. Yeah, and they are going for all humanity this time, you know? Apollo was all white men, and this one is not. And I think that...
Thank you, Sky News.
Yeah. Thanks, you twat. What? That guy's literally a penis with glasses on. Why are we... why do people listen to that shit? I mean, God.
The funny... There was even a story this week. CBS host warns Trump administration plans for moon base could usher in new age for space colonialism. We can't just make it about going to the fucking moon.
No. Or that we can be proud of the fact that we have the technology and the manpower now to actually set up a base on an orbiting satellite, essentially another planet. I mean, this is all litmus testing for what we want to do on Mars, right?
Right.
And colonialism is not colonization, because they got that word mixed up. Colonization is when you go to a place that there's no people and you colonize it. Colonialism is when there's already motherfuckers there and you take over and you make it yours. I don't know, and it was article after article this week talking about colonialism. So either you're telling me that there's aliens on the fucking moon, and so we're colonizing it, or you're that much of an absolute space trash moron that you can't figure out the difference between those two words. What the fuck?
Well, it's buzzwords. If I use colonialism enough, then I can go ahead and I can make everything racist. I can make everything
false.
tainted. It absolutely is false. But this is our journey. This is the media. This is mainstream media. CBS. Okay, the ones that we've been praising for getting their heads out of their ass, and now now it's colonialism. Really?
Whoops. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here's the BBC.
Even in space, you need to go. Behind me is the rocket the astronauts will be living in, and it's going to be hard for them to do what they need to do in a weightless environment. That's why, for the Artemis II mission, they've developed a special universal waste management system, which is basically a space loo. For urine, there's a funnel attached to a hose. A gentle airflow pulls it all away, so there's no spills, no floating droplets. For solids, there's a special seat with strong suction which pulls it all into a container which is sealed. Handrails, tethers and foot restraints keep the astronauts in place to stop them from floating away while they do their business, because up there's no gravity to help. And you know what the biggest challenge is? Privacy. The toilet is actually tucked right under the floor of the crew capsule. All of this in something that's the size of a small car.
Okay, that was not the only story that was broken about the toilet. And I shouldn't have said broken, because the toilets are broken.
Yeah,
Again, they've been broken twice now.
Yeah.
So, you want to go to chat? Because we should probably go to chat. Marco Wolowitz,
let's do that.
In chat. I don't know who everybody is tonight. I've been trying to figure it out. I really don't know. I think Brian Gnome's big tits. I think that's Justin. Bondi's walking papers. I got a hunch that might be Aaron, and I think Marco Wolowitz is Lisa. That's as far as I can get, though.
Yep, that's my guess as well.
Okay.
And Susan is Susan.
And Susan is Susan. Duchess is Duchess. John is John. Duchess and John from Boomer Bucker are definitely with us, and Aaron from I Had to Say It Pod. Marco Wolowitz in chat. I'm sure no guy has ever stuck his dick into a vacuum hose before. Not even touching that one. But that's what it was.
Exactly.
That's what it looked like.
Yep. That didn't... no, I'm sorry. Maybe there was a different aperture to stick on the end of that for the... Because there's a woman up there, too. It feels like we're forgetting that. And that's a whole different, plumbing system, a whole different set of problems. So I'm wondering if there's not a wider mouthed, more oval shaped to kind of go around the whole area there, because that one was just perfectly cylindrical. It was like basically like a kitchen funnel that you use to measure your ingredients to put in your biscuits. And it was big enough for a dude's schlong to stick in. I mean, unless she's trans, are we missing something? Is she a trans? Do we have the first there too?
See, I was going to go a different direction. I was going to go war on women with it. The BBC doesn't want to talk about women.
There you go. There you go.
Nobody wants to talk about women. We just want to talk about the black dude in the rocket. That was the big deal. Oh, and the Canadian. Why do we have to deal with a Canadian on? No offense to you guys from Canada, from Alberta. Not you guys. Everybody else. He might be from Alberta. Did we check that? Maybe we should check that. Is he from Alberta? If he's from Alberta, I'll give him a pass.
No, I don't think he is.
All right.
I think he's from Calgary or someplace.
Yeah, I think chat's revolting now against us because we don't know the names of everybody.
Well, that is their right. We are a free speech podcast here.
So we have a huge issue with the toilets not working, which I find amazing since we have all these stories. There's also a Scientific America story that dropped a few days ago. Just suddenly pops up right when they're having the toilet trouble. And then there's more toilet trouble today. They had a terrible smell coming from it, and there was issues, and it almost seems forced.
So you wanna hear the most moronic thing that I heard all day, which is that apparently the valve for the toilet for the ejection of it froze. Okay. In first grade, you learn that outer space is close to 0 degrees Kelvin, right? I mean, it's not quite, but it's about as close as you can get. It's about as cold as we know in the universe is outer space.
Right.
So you're telling me they designed this thing here on planet Earth with a nice atmosphere and a warm air-conditioned room, and they didn't think about the fact that it might freeze? If that's the sort of ineptitude we're dealing with here, we're going to be lucky to get these people back. And I'm calling it now. That could be another distraction that happens is these people just get flung off into the nether regions. We lose contact with them in 2 months or something. And we have a planetary moment of silence because they're just out there in the fucking ether freezing to death.
Well, they screwed up the last time when they went to the space station, and Elon had to go up and grab them.
That's right.
It wouldn't surprise me if they don't know what they're doing. It doesn't surprise me in the least bit. This is the same entity, which it's an intelligence organization. Let's call it what it is. It's not about space exploration. It's about using space to maximize our ability to grab intel. That's what it is. It's as much a military organization as anything. But yeah, we had to go up and get him out of the space station because something got jacked up, and Elon was the only way to go up there and get it. Now, is there a better reason to take eyes off of Iran, to your point, than have our astronauts? Oh, they're stuck in space. The shitter's full, and we can't bring them home. We need to send somebody up there, and we need this heroic mission to save them. I don't know, what test, what soundstage that's going to happen on, but you have to look at it from this perspective at this point, because it's absolutely asinine that it took us this long to go back to the moon, and some of the excuses were, well, we didn't have the data to go up there. We needed to make sure that we could do it again. When you basically,
even though we did it back in the 60s and 70s
in a fucking Campbell soup can.
Yeah.
Let's
with
not
tinfoil wrapped
forget
around
that.
it.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm not saying, I'm just saying that there's too much that's odd about it. There's too much. It reeks when you start seeing the narratives for what they are, when you start seeing things, how they break out. You see the influx of information and how it's being positioned and how what the narratives are. You got to sit there and question, okay, we're flooding the zone again. It's a little odd. It's just a little odd.
It is. I was aware of the Artemis program. I had no idea, and listen, I follow this stuff cursorily, but I think I follow it probably more than the average American. I was completely unaware that they were planning a mission around the moon until about a month ago, right about when the Iran war kicked off, little shortly after. That's when I became aware that they were actually going to do this mission. Now, maybe they were keeping it under wraps. Maybe they needed to, but the planning for this thing, I mean, just the toilet alone, what'd they say? 12 months to develop it?
Yes, and like
thousands of people.
$30 million.
Yeah. So why were we? I mean, I don't know. You said the word forced. That's what this feels like. It really does feel forced. And I mean, hey, nothing brings together a nation better than a tragedy, right?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
our
absolutely.
closest moments of unity in this country were, Lincoln assassination, Kennedy assassination, JFK being not JFK, Martin Luther King being assassinated, 9/11, Apollo 13. The whole country, nobody gave a shit about that mission until it became mission critical to get these guys back, and then everyone was glued to the television. Maybe that's what we're being set up for here. I mean, look, if these guys go around the moon and they do their whole little trip and they come back in 9 days and 2 hours or whatever it's going to take, and with no incident other than a broken toilet, I'll be surprised. I feel like the broken toilet is going to be the first in a series of calamities that leads us to all have to come together for these four, again, these four multicultural, multi-sexed. We can all identify with somebody on that ship, right?
Oh, absolutely. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Right.
I don't know if we have some trans up there. I don't know if there's I didn't see a furry. There's no Asians up there. Somali fraudsters. I didn't see anybody up there for that. So maybe they have a little ways to go. Maybe that's an Artemis III. I don't know.
Yeah.
We did have another catastrophe that we need to make sure we're paying really, really close attention to.
So with your Go, we can remote in and take a look directly.
Yeah, go for it. And then I also see that I have 2 Microsoft Outlooks, and neither one of those are working. If you want to remote in and check Optimus on those 2 Outlooks, that would be awesome.
All right, we will join in on your PCB and we'll let you know when we're done. So with your
Microsoft Outlook. Again, this is something I can identify with because I fight
Right?
with Outlook twice a month, at least.
It's a garbage
hate that program.
application.
It's terrible.
But that's what they're relying on. And he's talking to tech support. Yeah, if you guys can just log in and take care of that Outlook, I gotta be able to send an email. Can you guys take care of that for me? Nothing's working.
How great
What
would it have
the
been
fuck?
if they would have gotten tech support in India? Hello, what is your issue? How can I help you?
Hello, my name is Kirk. How can I help you today? Oh, your Outlook is not working. Oh, that is okay. I can take care of that. Can you please deposit $500, please? We'll take care of it for you.
I'm going to VPN. I will take over your computer. Oh my God. I'm sorry for all of you out there. Any of our Indian listeners, we weren't trying to be racist, but that's just a fact of fucking life is when you call tech support, you get somebody in Pakistan or India, period. And you can't understand them half the time.
Oh, it's
Anyway, go ahead.
well, let's
Yeah, there you go. That's a great point from
just
John.
power down.
Just power it down, wait 30 seconds. But yeah, unplug it, blow on it a little bit, and plug it back in. You're good.
Okay,
Good
you know
God.
what? And why didn't oh damn it, missed opportunity. When all they had to do to fix the toilet was jiggle the handle, it would have been fine.
Exactly.
Hey, let's continue with the narrative because it doesn't stop there. Everybody, here's Matt Gaetz with Benny Johnson.
I think the most important information will be the biologics that are not human that have been discovered, and like even some of the briefings that aren't classified just need to be out in the public. I mean, I had someone come and brief me who was in a military uniform, worked for the United States Army, that was briefing me on the locations of hybrid breeding programs where captured aliens were breeding with humans to create some hybrid race that could engage in intergalactic communication. And
The look on Benny, I'll go back to this in a second, but the look on Benny Johnson's face, like,
He's
I
like,
didn't, what are we doing here? I don't even know what
This is
why.
that's totally right out of oh shit, what was the fuck? Why can't I think of it? The cartoon that was like The Simpsons, but they were out in space.
Oh, Futurama.
Why can't I? Yeah, Futurama. The main character, he always did that like squinty eye, like I don't know.
That's what he did.
Yeah,
Wow,
I don't know if I believe this.
He kind of looks like him. Son of a bitch.
He totally does.
You know what? We're gonna have to hold on to that one.
Oh shit.
For that may go into the show art this week. That's a great call. Great call. Let's go back to Butthead and let him finish his hybrid alien story.
Yeah.
actual uniformed member of the United States Army briefed me on that.
Non-human biologics, interracial alien mating. What the F is going on? Look, wait a second. You had whistleblowers tell you this kind of thing? Can you please unpack that?
I had a guy who was uniformed. He was a senior enlisted with the United States Army. Came into my office in Crestview, Florida, in a non-classified setting. I had members of my staff there, and what they explained is that the military ran a very secret program where aliens that were living were in forced breeding programs with humans that had been abducted from war zones and from even the caravans of migrants. Now, again, I didn't verify this, but what the whistleblower was telling me is that there were like between 6 and 12 locations around the country where this happened. And what he wanted was a group, members of Congress, to all show up at the same time at all of these different locations so that any of those activities could not be moved. And of course, it's a physical impossibility to get members of Congress to simultaneously show up at like 8 locations at one time. And so that never occurred.
What do you mean non-human biologics? Like this?
Well, that was the testimony of David Grush before the House Oversight Committee,
Yeah.
which I joined. And the testimony was that in crashes of craft that had been recovered by the CIA and through a special program that the CIA had for crash recovery, that it wasn't just, the hard materials, it was also biologics, but that they couldn't identify a human source of those biologics.
All right. Hey, Bob, we've got this crash. Hey, look, there's aliens over there. You know what we should do? We should mate with them.
Well, I mean, listen, the curiosity. I mean, there were rumors that the Nazis had, some genetic experiments, like trying to breed some insect DNA into humans. Lion.
Oh, the fly. Yeah.
Dog. Yeah, that's where all of that came from. And look, Bob Lazar has been talking about this since the fucking late 80s. Okay, I mean,
right.
I'm actually not shocked by any of this. I don't know who that host was and why he was so. Oh my, what are you talking about? Can you explain that? Can you unpack that for us? I'm not at all surprised that this kind of shit is going on. In fact, I'd be surprised if it came out that we've never done anything like that. So I don't. Again, I do feel like, with your word forced, this narrative is slowly being leaked out to just sort of prepare people so that there's not a huge mass uprising when the population actually finds out that we've not only been in contact with aliens, but that we're forcing them to breed with us. And I there's a lot of assumptions going on there. I guess we're assuming they have some holes to breed with, right? I mean, are we?
Well, that's where I went straight to. I went straight to that. They're banging aliens. That has to be it. I'm sure it's CRISPR stuff. I'm sure there's that's going on. I'm no doubt about that. But to Duchess's point, come on, given the opportunity, men will bang anything.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I knew a guy in the military that, well, okay.
I thought you were going to say I knew a guy named Hefe.
No, I mean that's a whole separate. But he actually was he was scheming on how to undo the plumbing of the toilets so that he could stick his dick in one of the pipes. I mean,
is he an astronaut?
No, but we'd only been in basic training for like 4 weeks, and he couldn't stand it anymore. And nobody would have sex with him. None of the dudes were gay enough to have sex with him, so he just was going to stick it in a hole in the plumbing. I mean, yes, guys get. It's almost an obsession for some guys. I'm not speaking from experience here. I'm just saying, given the opportunity, exactly what Dutch just said, given the opportunity, would I have sex with an alien? Probably, yes.
Yeah, it's going to depend on how big its breasts are. I'm just going to say, I'm going to throw it out there like that. And if they make one of those really cool heart-shaped asses when they bend over, like the TikTok trend right now.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's, I mean, how can you not?
That's the other thing is, I mean, dudes' kinks are so varied and wide. I mean, you can't tell me that right now, as we're recording this, there isn't some guy whose girl dresses up like an alien for him because that's his kink. So imagine if that guy found an actual alien. I mean, come on. It's a done deal. It's not even a debate. Of course that's happening. Of course.
John's question in chat. What's worse, aliens or ladyboys? Based on our chat in the past week, I'm really not sure. I need to see the aliens, John. I need to see the aliens. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I've got standards, but also, again, you get desperate enough. I don't know.
Or it's just an exotic pleasure,
Exactly.
You're like, well, you know what? Hey, that's an alien.
Right.
The Greys do nothing for me, though. I got to tell you that there's nothing about them that's even remotely interesting.
No, they're super androgynous. I don't even know. I mean, they're never depicted with genitals.
Yeah.
So again, that's why I brought up, like, are there even holes to? And yes. Welcome to Razor Wire. You are getting a half-an-hour debate on whether or not we would have sex with an alien and how and why. Yep, here we are. Oh my God, the Greys are space Somalis. Is it the forehead or
the forehead? They're unscrupulous. They're all thieves. I mean, food's kind of bad. What if it was Jesus, Brian Gnome's big tits in chat. What if it was a fucked up alien with a perfect vagina? No.
I mean, you've seen the manga, right? The Japanese porn where those giant aliens defile a girl. I mean, that's an actual genre of porn. And if you haven't seen it, I mean, go out and check it out.
I've seen the tentacle stuff, but I'm not like any of those.
Yeah, they get into some demon alien stuff too, and I mean, I've watched it. It doesn't do anything for me, but it's out there. And again, I think, I mean, of all the sexual deviants on the planet, the Japanese, they get into some weird shit, man. So I'm sure they're doing it too. I mean, you can't tell me an alien craft hasn't landed off the shores of Japan.
Marco Wolowitz, paper bags do exist.
True. Exactly. Well, now we have AI. Make it look like a supermodel, but you're actually doing something else. One other thing I wanna bring up, since we're on the science front, and I would feel remiss if I didn't bring it up. Comet MAPS, MAPS. I forget what that stands for, but
minor attracted. Sorry.
No, it's not. No, it's not a pedophile comet. It's just a comet. It actually was diving towards the sun, and we've known it's been coming for a while, and it actually made impact this morning, and I'm again, Ben Davidson had a great write up on this because someone asked him, like, is it going to actually hit the surface of the sun? And he gave like a total amazing nerd response of like, well, where is the surface of the sun? We're not even sure where that is, because if you're talking about like the heliosphere, that goes out. I mean, we're essentially in the sun's atmosphere, all the way out here on Earth at 93 million miles away. So he was like, yeah, it's going to hit the atmosphere for sure. There is no real agreed upon consensus of where the surface of the sun is, but is it going to survive its trip around? He kind of predicted that it would not, and it looks like it didn't. Although I did see some video from LASCO, which is a satellite that watches the sun. You can kind of see something being ejected out the other side, and so I don't know. I don't think it survived because comets are mostly ice and a few rocks in there. I don't think it would survive its trip that close to the sun, but really interesting thing. Go out and kind of look it up if you want to see that it's all tracked on the satellites, and kind of a cool thing. It's kind of a once in a lifetime deal where we see a comet come that close, but not actually like go straight into the sun. It just kind of did a really close orbit, and it just didn't make it around. It fried up. So,
hey, you had brought that up. So for everybody out there who's playing along at home, there's a couple of different chats. We've got the Razor Wire chat, which is live every day. So if you join the site, join, $5 a month, you guys can come into the chat and you guys will see a whole bunch of stories that our listeners will pull. And there's a lot of jackassery, a lot like the chat that we've got going on here. But in our chat, you had found that story and brought it up. Now, the first thing I thought of was, okay, the comet blew up, or disintegrated, or it's broken into several pieces. Now, is anything going to be projected towards us now? Because that's like a perfect time to go and stage something also. And yes, I pretty much look at everything like that.
No, no. You're totally on point with that. It's exactly where my brain went. Ben Davidson brought that up as well. It does look like there was a CME near or at the exact point where the comet sort of, disintegrated. Comets, even though they're small, they can still cause, gravitational anomalies on the sun, and they can fire off CMEs because of a sun diving comet. Where it disintegrated was sort of, if you're picturing the sun looking at it as a disk, kind of the 230 position and away from Earth, not facing us at all. So anything that would have occurred from that is going to fire off into space and probably not affect us. Although we had a very strange rogue CME hit us yesterday. I've never seen anything like it. Or was that Thursday? I don't remember now.
I think it was yesterday.
I think it was yesterday.
A lot of that content too.
Yeah, and so Ben Davidson even said
April 3rd.
Yeah. Okay. So that was Friday. Yeah, yesterday. Very strange. We had a huge phi angle flip, which is basically the polarity of the particles hitting the Earth. We had a level KP7, which is a level G3 storm, hit us, and no one saw it coming. We have no idea what hit us. It wasn't a CME. It wasn't a coronal hole. Not even sure why that happened. But at first I thought the first readout, the first instrumentation I was looking at, I thought it was an instrument error. So I went to the next one, and it had the same reading of this huge phi angle flip. And I don't just mean one or two phi angle flips. I'm talking hundreds in a 4-hour period, hundreds of phi angle flips, which is very strange. The proton speed went up, electron speed went up. I mean, everything that we have, all the instrumentation that's in space that reads those kinds of things, they all read the exact same anomaly. So we're not sure what hit us, but something hit us yesterday that we can't account for, which is odd, very strange. And that was before the comet hit.
And I wrote Ben, which Ben ignores the shit out of me, which is fine. He's kind of
he ignores everybody.
He's a pretentious fuck. He's super smart, and I love his content, but he's kind of a dick.
Oh, super, super cocky.
I want to know what happened to the Artemis. Did Artemis get caught up in it? That would have been a great, just a great check. it would have been a fantastic way for him to go ahead and connect what he's talking about, which I think is a pretty big deal, to stuff that actually matters, unless he's avoiding it altogether because he thinks it's a bunch of jackassery.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. He's been really quiet on the whole Artemis mission and sort of implications from it or because of it. Which is, it's a great point. I don't know why he's been so quiet on that. Again, I agree with you. Very great content from him, but he's kind of a cocky asshole. And you take that with a grain of salt because he's ahead of the curve on almost everything, even
on a lot.
Yeah, and so you got to the genius comes with a little bit of tomfoolery.
How's that beer going?
I'm kind of this is a sipper, so I'm about 2/3 of the way through. It's not quite done. That doesn't mean that I can't finish it, and or just get another glass for my next beer. I'm very excited about my next beer, so I'm definitely ready to get to beer 2. How about yours? How'd that finish up? Did it warm up nicely at all, or did it get worse?
It warmed up fine. No issues with it. I mean, it was a good DIPA. I know they call it DDH because it's double dry hopped.
Okay.
That's fine, but it was smooth. It was a little bit too much of a pucker, but that's an IPA. What are you going to do? I would have liked it to be a little bit sweeter, but I would have this again. I wouldn't have any problem with it, especially since it's a Bone House.
Okay.
It was a well finished IPA, so I did enjoy that. So that was good.
Yeah, well, and someone out there that's probably their favorite beer. Someone out there is craving that exact flavor profile.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. With that, let's go and get the beer 2, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Fitz, so everybody out there in listener land, when you join the show, razorwirenews.com, you get access to the chat. There's a pregame where we've got about an hour of music. You guys can sit in and listen. I'm getting set up for the show, organizing the dock a little bit more, making sure everything is nice and tidy, and there's a lot of music going. Some really good playlists, if I do say so myself. But everybody's liked them so far, so I think it's a fact. But then at halftime, we also do a little bit more music when we're grabbing our next beers, getting ready to go, and starting the second half of the show. So my question is, we're listening Down with the Citruses in there, which I don't think I've played forever. When we're going to get stuck in an old folks' home at some point, unless we die before that, which is obviously that's a fact that could happen. Do you think we're going to have like happy hours in the retirement home, and we're going to be playing like Disturbed and Suicidal Tendencies and Black Flag, and is it going to be that cool? Because you're going to have fake boobs, you're going to have tattoos everywhere, you're going to have spacer earrings, nipple piercings. It's going to be a fucking madhouse. So I can't see why you wouldn't.
Oh, I 100% expect to be headbanging in my wheelchair. And mosh pits. Okay, mosh pits with wheelchairs and walkers.
Wow.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's every Saturday night. You deck out your wheelchair, your walker, whatever, put some decorations on it. You can modify it. You can put a fucking scoop on it. You can put a wedge on it, whatever. And then it's just a mosh pit with all of these accoutrements, but people's stuff is getting destroyed. Like, okay, I saw a perfect example. I saw a walker that someone had modified to look like an AT-AT from Star Wars. Okay, so you got this AT-AT that's like lumbering towards you, but I'm in my wheelchair and I deck it out like a Hot Wheels, and I just fucking ram them. And, whoever's shit survives is great. And then we do it again next Saturday. The whole time, some headbanging fucking Disturbed or Korn or some old school punk, maybe some ska. Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Let's fucking party it up. Why would we stop partying just because our bones hurt? Fuck that.
I'm looking forward to it. And Marco Wolowitz in chat, I love having to say these names. And our generation will mostly have their original genitalia.
Exactly. So, and we all know those retirement homes are like basically one giant orgy. I mean, STDs run rampant in those places, and it's not from the food. These people are bumping uglies. No, I mean, look, take your dentures out, sweetheart. Let's
let's see where
let's see what you got. You still got a tongue, right? Let's right.
Let's see where the night goes. All right, take your dentures out is now in the running for.
Okay.
That's perfect. Good. Take your dentures out.
Yep. Perfect.
All right, that's what we do here. Yep. Black Mariah by Tombstone Brewing is my beer. I was gonna go. I almost went with a layup, and I'll probably save this one for next week as my leadoff beer. But tonight's is going to be Black Mariah, Imperial Stout from Tombstone Brewing. I had this one on the show. Oh gosh, it was probably early last year.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds familiar to me.
Yeah, it's a big one too. It's a 15.5% ABV.
Whoa.
Yeah, but it's from Tombstone Brewing, and those guys are special. It's one of the best breweries we have here in the state. They're super underrated. But the story on the can, even, this is the thickest, most decadent stout we could possibly make, utilizing not just reiterated mash, but also an hours-long boil. We made this jet black stout ridiculously full-bodied and incredibly complex. Expect abundant dark chocolate and coffee flavors balanced by notes of rich caramel, toffee, and dark fruit. It's a dessert in a glass. So I didn't expect this to be a pastry stout or a dessert stout, right? So we'll have to see what they're working with here. It pours a little bit thin. It doesn't pour as thick as they say. A lot of coffee in the nose. That is an American Imperial Stout, all day, every day. Absolutely
nice.
There's a difference between your Russians and, for everybody who's playing at home, Russian Imperial Stouts and your American Imperial Stouts. Your Russians are going to be a little bit thicker. They're going to be a little bit maltier, and they're going to be a little bit. It's a meal in the glass kind of a situation. Your black, more like the Imperial Stout, American Imperial, it's more of it's a little bit lighter, and it's almost a porter on steroids. Super beer though, easy to drink, a lot of coffee, a lot of malt in there, but very, very pleasant.
Well, and the history behind Russian Imperials is super interesting, and I'm not going to go into it, but go look it up. I mean, why that's even a beer style? Because stouts have been around for a long time, but the Russians, and I'll go on record, I'll say they perfected the stout family by making an imperial version of it and making it be able to last through the Russian winters. They had to have something thick enough that it wouldn't freeze, which is fucking badass, right? And so, yeah, go look that history up. But to your point, I think I lean towards the Russian Imperials, less towards the American Imperials. But when I'm going for just pure flavor, like flavor notes that I'm looking for, American Imperials do it better because, like you said, they are lighter. They don't run as syrupy, and you don't get as much of the booze, notes. You get the actual flavor of what they were going for. So, it's 6 of one, half dozen the other. I like them both, but yeah, really, really great beer style. Obviously, our favorite on the show. We have a lot of those each week, and also they fuck you up, which is a nice perk.
Absolutely. What do you have over there?
Well, you talked about sort of a easy home run, just a nice easy slow pitch ball you can just hit out of the park. I kind of feel like I went that direction with this beer, but I'm actually not sure based on our earlier conversation. Okay, so you'll get where I'm going with this as soon as I tell you what we have going on. This is a left-hand milk stout. Okay, which has been a standby left-hand great brewer out of Colorado, I believe. This one is their chocolate orange nitro left-hand milk stout.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And per our earlier conversation, I was out there in the garage, in my garage refrigerator, looking at the ingredients, and there is no fake shit in this at all. This is real oats, real barley. They put some orange juice in it for the orange. They put actual chocolate in it for the chocolate. So there's no artificial crap in this at all. This is the actual good stuff added to a beer that's already a winner, which is their left-hand milk stout. So only a 6%er. I thought I'd dial it back a little bit from 11%er that I started out with. So let's see what we got. I'm glad that they're sort of broadening the horizon on the milk stout. But B, it's really easy to wreck something like this. So let's see.
So for everybody out there, left-hand milk stout is, again, one of those base beers, kind of like Epic's, Big Bad Baptist, and all those guys. So they are trying to branch out, and they're trying to do a few new things. Especially, it's interesting they threw in the nitro aspect of that one.
Yeah. Okay. So I have okay. Not a bad beer. I will say I'm slightly disappointed, mostly because it doesn't taste like it smells. It smells amazing. You feel like you're getting one of those chocolate orange things that you get at Christmas time. That's what it smells like. And then you taste it, and it's a little flat. I think the nitro ruined this beer. I think if they had kept it just a straight up stout, this would have been a winner. But I'm a little disappointed. It's too smooth. It needs a little more bite to it. So
not enough carbonation in there?
Not enough carbonation and not enough orange, in my opinion. You smell the orange. You don't get that citrus bite when you taste it. So not a bad beer. I'm not complaining. But not the home run I was hoping it would be.
Is the chocolate more prevalent?
No. The chocolate is basically what you would get in a regular milk stout. It already has those chocolate notes. Maybe a little bit more, but no. It's not nearly. I mean, you mentioned with your beer, a dessert beer. It's kind of what I was picturing with this. It's not at all. There's no dessert qualities to this at all. It's a beer with hints of orange and maybe a little chocolate on the back end. There's nothing dessert about this.
This is going to sound weird. Were they trying for a summer stout?
Maybe. You might be onto something there. Keeping it light and fruity, maybe. Yeah.
I mean, that bastardizes the whole style, but I can see somebody wanting to do that. It's kind of like, let's go out and make a golden ale or golden stout, which is a fucking ridiculous style. I had one the other day, which was absolute garbage.
Yeah, they're all garbage.
Oh, that's interesting. All right, well, we'll see how that plays out for the rest of the evening. That's interesting. All right, cool, very cool. Oh, Fitz, let's see here.
Yeah, where do we go now?
Where do we want to go? Oh, I know where I want to go.
Oh boy,
let's go here. Yes, and Birthright Citizenship and Allegiance, no less.
I was thinking about this, and I think there are various sources that say this, that you obviously have permanent allegiance based on being born in whatever country you're from. That's what everybody recognizes. But you also have local allegiance when you are on the soil of this other sovereign. And I was thinking, I, a U.S. citizen, am visiting Japan. And what it means is that, if I steal someone's wallet in Japan, The Japanese authorities can arrest me and prosecute me. It's allegiance, meaning can they control you as a matter of law? I can also rely on them if my wallet is stolen to, under Japanese law, go and prosecute the person who has stolen it. So there's this relationship based on, even though I'm a temporary traveler, I'm just on vacation in Japan, I'm still locally owing allegiance in that sense.
I found her choice of word allegiance very interesting.
Yes.
Because allegiance to me feels like a choice, right? It feels like I have allegiance to my friends. I have allegiance to my family. I have allegiance to my country. I don't necessarily have allegiance to Japan when I travel there, even if I'm a victim of a crime there. I want their laws to protect me, but that doesn't mean that I have allegiance to them, that I'm going to say, yes, I will fight and die for you. I will pay you my taxes. I will have children here. That allegiance is a very interesting word that she chose, and I'm not sure if that's her absolute, moron side coming out, because she is a moron, or if that's a choice of words meant to sort of take a dig at, why people are coming to the U.S. I don't know. I don't think she's probably that smart, but it is a dig to say that a Mexican coming to the United States, his country is so much in shambles. He's been a victim of corruption and whatever. And so he's coming to the U.S. to find a better life, right? I mean, that's the quote: "Find a better life, or make a better life for himself." Right. And so he has allegiance to the United States way of doing things, except that he's not paying taxes and he's leeching off the system, and maybe he's building some great homes or cooking some great food. But at the end of the day, most of his money he's sending back to his family in Mexico. That's not allegiance to a country, right? That's not wholesale giving your soul to a country. So I that was a very interesting quote that she had, and I found it absurd.
So we've got Hefe here. I'm glad you came in, Hefe. I hope you heard some of that clip that we were just talking about. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this out there for you. And I this is just something that I thought about just now. I haven't hashed it through a whole lot. I haven't game played it. There's no game theory involved. But when you allegiance, and then there's citizenship, right? This is my country, and this is one I have allegiance to. I'm taking that as, in a socialist world, in a globalist world, we have allegiances. It doesn't mean that I have to be a citizen. It doesn't mean that the citizenship doesn't matter. That's how I took that.
That's kind of what I was getting at. Yes, that's kind of what I was getting at. You nailed it. That's exactly what I mean. Allegiance means that you're in with your emotions and your soul, whether you have citizenship or not.
Right.
Yep.
So to me, she's shitting all over the citizenship part as a whole, which tracks with the shitty regime that put her into power. Which, and I'm going to say it like that because that's what happened. She's a Supreme Court justice. She has no business being there. She's the biggest fucking idiot that we have. And I'm going to play one more clip. Hefe, I hope you've had a really good night, but I got to get this done. Here's Ketanji Brown Jackson on talking to the U.S. Solicitor Sauer.
Your view of this turns on what the status of the parents are, and not the child, as would the born in the United States view of it. How can you help us understand why we wouldn't expect to see a mention of parents in the text of this amendment?
I think it was well understood that, for example, children cannot, newborns cannot form domicile. So it followed every 19th century.
That assumes domicile is in the test. And I'm asking you, how do we know that Congress did adopt the test that you say it adopted.
Yeah, when you look at 19th century conceptions of allegiance, the notion that the allegiance, again, we say domicile is instantiating the concept of allegiance for aliens as opposed to citizen. All of that, the 19th century understands the newborn's domicile, its allegiance follows the allegiance of the parents. And I point out that their theory relies on parental allegiance as well, because they recognize the exceptions for, hostile invading armies, for tribal Indians, for ambassadors. Again, the child's allegiance status, even on their view.
Her line of questioning, her whole thought process is just bizarre.
Yeah, she's taken the mental gymnastics to a whole new level there. I mean, she's taken the what ifs to a point where we're not even talking about reality anymore. And I get it, thought experiments are important, particularly in, particle physics or Einstein's theory of relativity. The only way you can even start to contemplate that is to have these mind, these mental images of things that probably could never happen, but you have to picture them in order to understand the theory. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about fucking law. We're talking about the law of the land and how it's written in the Constitution, the amendments to the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, et cetera, et cetera. And she's trying to take it to a point of, yeah, but a baby could own a house. And so are they tied to that land? No, a baby can't own a house. That's not reality. I mean, you gotta come back to a point of actually what can and can't happen. And she's in fucking La La Land.
Well, she's all she does. I'm convinced of this. Her whole point in being is to try and guide anything that goes before the Supreme Court to stuff that she likes. It doesn't have anything to do with the Constitution. It hasn't have anything to do with actual law. It's just something that she likes. I think this should go this way. The people put me in power said I need to vote this way, which it makes it really, really convenient when you're an idiot and you can't put two thoughts together.
Well, and it's perfect. It's even more compounded by the fact that, have you seen the graphs of how much time she takes to talk? She's more than double the next person, and she's more than like quadruple the next person after that. She takes up so much time, and everything she says, it's these mental circles. You don't go anywhere. She just likes to hear herself talk, and then at the end of it, someone will bring up one solid point that completely trashes everything she said, and then she'll go on for another hour of just pontification. She likes to hear herself speak, and it's pointless. And I mean, you said it. It was a corrupt administration that brought her in, and now we're stuck with the bitch.
And it completely tracks with every argument the socialists have.
Yep.
There's nothing of substance. There's nothing there that says that's of any magnitude. It's all heartfelt. This is what we should be doing, and this I would love for. This is all utopian bullshit that doesn't exist in the real world, and that's what all of them do. And she is the worst one of them. Hefe, how was dinner? How was the big 18th birthday?
Yeah, dude.
It was okay. It was there was a lot to hash out.
Oh boy.
Okay. All right. Lot of politicking.
I guess you can call it that.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Well, I mean, that's what it boils down to. Even if it's in your own family, it's politics. You know, someone's trying to influence one way or the other. Well, sorry to hear that, man. At least, dude, you have an adult son now.
I know.
That's wild. That's wild.
I'm one of those people.
Yeah. One of those people. You and McShane, I'll tell you what. I've taken a different path in my life. I've been working very hard to just make myself an adult. So I don't know how you guys are making other adults. I don't understand that concept. I'm just trying to work on my own shit.
Yeah,
well,
I don't know that we've done
either way, you're doing it. You're doing it.
We're efforting. We'll say it that. Hefe,
Yeah.
I want to save your night. I want to save your night. Now we went in balls deep in the first half of the show. I don't want you to feel left out. The big question so far is for the night is, would you have sex with an alien?
Not an illegal alien, like an actual like off planet.
Oh.
Yeah. Because we know the answer to the first one.
Yeah.
We already know. Yeah.
Well,
and, chat's already answering for you, by the way. But go ahead.
I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are. Is it? What do these aliens look like?
Yes.
See,
thank you.
That's where we went too. That's we went
exactly.
too. I think it's important. So like the Greys, right, with the big head, slender body, that does nothing for me. Somebody asked it, what if it was a Grey and had a perfect vagina? I think that's I'm pretty sure that's Justin that asked
That's
that.
valid. That's valid.
Valid point. I mean, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I guess you could call me old fashioned. Like I mean, the female has to be, I have to like the way she looks. I mean, that's where it all begins, right?
Right.
Relationships and whatnot. So if some Gray,
hold on. Can I stop you there?
Please do.
I'm sorry. Your little half torso. What was her name?
Wait.
What? Oh.
The little half torso that's just like an ass and a hole.
It was Scarlet.
Scarlet. Right.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, Scarlet. That's correct.
My God.
So okay, so
I don't
how
think
does
that's
she
come
look
up on the
to
show
you?
before? That's fantastic.
Okay, that's different. Are we just talking about just sex?
Yeah. We're not talking about a fucking love affair, man. Yeah.
You're not marrying
We're
them.
just talking about straight up.
You're banging
there
an alien.
to impregnate this alien, and it's gray and has a giant head, but it's got a sweet ass.
Okay. I'm hit.
Oh shit!
With my arm.
Oh, we've said it before. I fucking love you guys. We're all so goddamn predictable. Oh shit!
So if you can see your screen, I've got a picture of an Arcturian. Apparently, this is an alien. What do you think of? Clearly, that has to be a female. I'm guessing, but that's a very coy look. It's a very seductive look right there.
Yeah. Oh, I would.
Yeah. She gives a lot of head. I'm just saying, it's a lot of head there.
Nostrils look a little small, but the mouth, can make that work.
They're tight. I mean, what are you gonna do?
She has eyes like Rebecca.
Okay, now we're going to past exes here, and you're definitely in then.
Well, I mean, she was fucking crazy with a capital A.
Oh, but she was so hot.
She was, but I mean, I'm just saying, you can tell by the eyes.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, you start getting into the Anunnaki and stuff like that, like giants. Like there's a point. I mean, my first girlfriend was, she was 6'1".
Yeah.
So to me, that's a giant, right? But I made it work. I don't know. I'm sure there's a threshold. I'm sure there's a point at which it's just too big, right? There's too much ground to cover. I don't know what that point is for me, though. I don't. Like, is it a 7-footer? Is it a 15-foot? Because the Anunnaki were supposed to be like 12 to 15 feet. So, I mean, what are we talking about here?
So, well, I think that's... Yeah, it doesn't matter. They might use you as a dildo, though, if they're giants.
Okay. Okay, look, one of my favorite porns of all time. I'm getting a little intimate here. It was a guy that got shrunk down, and he was like 2 inches tall, and then there was this girl and he was in high school. There was this girl he liked, and during class he crawled up her leg and she was wearing a skirt, and it was an absolutely great movie. Because he was still able to get her off. What the fuck are you? What is this, dude?
I was trying to find your 2-inch dildo guy porn thing to play it for the listeners, and that
there's a bunch of
badly.
dudes,
and I turned it off.
The special effects on this movie were absolutely horrible, and yet I could still put myself in this guy's position and go, that could be a lot of fun. I'm gonna be quiet now.
What was the guy's name? Do we know?
I don't know.
Pocket Rocket.
I don't even remember the name of the movie. It was one of those like when porn first started to be online, accessible, and I just found it randomly. Like I wasn't looking for it, but I was like, oh, what is this? Like, oh, he's getting shrunk down into a tiny little man. Oh, he's crawling up her leg. That's kind of hot. And then
he's going spelunking. Did he have a little miner's hat on and he had like a light on it?
No. In fact, he stripped down. He got naked.
Well, that was very cordial of him. That was very, very respectful. All right, I think we've done a lot of good here. First half of the show.
Feel free to edit
solid.
all of that out. Yeah, it was.
I don't know. I wasn't going to edit anything up until that whole bit happened, and now we'll just we'll see where that goes tomorrow. In chat, everyone is a dildo if you're brave enough. You know what? That is so true.
Yeah.
Anything is a dildo if you're brave enough. Let's just call it what it is. Oof is right. Hefe, what does your evening look like? Are you here for a long time or just a good time?
I can be here for a long time.
All right. Well, hang out with us then. We love that. That's awesome that we get you for a little bit longer tonight.
Although I may be in some trouble.
Like law trouble or?
Yeah, well, I just filled up my tank and it only costs $4.84 a gallon. So they're probably going to be after me here pretty soon.
Did you steal it?
Broke the Matrix.
I feel like I stole it. Fuck gas prices.
Yep.
Fuck them in the face.
Well,
all we can hope is that it's short term. Yeah.
Let's talk about that real quick. I've got a perfect clip that explains the Strait of Hormuz.
Just a bit homophobic that we're so focused on the Strait of Hormuz and not the gates of Hormuz.
Yes, I agree. Yes, for sure.
Why do you think they're willing to leave the gates of Hormuz behind?
I think it's just historically, gays have always been very discriminated against, which is wrong on so many levels.
Even in war.
Yeah, even in war. It just takes more reform in government, obviously, and then also educating society.
Just feel like if we're going to go and...
It's all about the gays of Hormuz. That was from the No Kings rallies from this past weekend. I know that's a comedian and he's fucking around. I loved it. I thought it was funny. But she clearly was on board. Fantastic. She was clearly on board.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that
just shows how little these people know.
Oh, they don't know anything. They proved that a few months ago or whenever when they kept asking how Trump's State of the Union went, and it wasn't until the next day, and people were throwing off on it, like, oh, I couldn't even watch anymore after the first 10 minutes. Like they just programmed. That's it.
Yep. 100%.
Here's Hassan Piker on Cuba. And we remember this Hassan Piker, who was broadcasting from his 5-star hotel in Cuba, where his little area actually had power. Meanwhile, the rest of the country is pretty much blacked out.
Yep.
What it's like on the ground. What'd you see? when I first landed in Cuba, I was taken aback by how beautiful everything was. You got the 1950s cars, and it's a tropical island destination. But very quickly thereafter, as soon as we got into Havana, the main city area where people congregate, I couldn't believe the sights that I was seeing. It was very sad. You had homes that looked like they were bombed out. Our tour guide at the time said that this was somewhat of a product of hurricane season and how difficult it is to repair these buildings. And I already had known about the rolling blackouts, and I experienced them later in the day. And it was definitely unlike anything I've ever experienced before. Everything's pitch black. There aren't any traffic lights on. It's crazy, right? But I was taken aback. I was very sad by all the poverty that I saw, and then I was very angry. It was actually Ben Rhodes who told me that I would get very sad when I first went to
Obama foreign policy advisor.
Former Obama
policy advisor. Yeah, a nice big socialist.
Foreign policy advisor Ben Rhodes, who was a former.
Can I? No, I just wanted to add in really quick. I think something important to point out here. I have been to, and we've talked about on the show. I'm not going to go into it. I have been to communities in this country that look like exactly what he's talking about. Now, not the power outages, so okay, but houses that look completely bombed out because they are so poor. Merkel, Texas, a tiny little spot on the fucking map, and I have never been more depressed in my life. Trying to put a program in a school there. And driving down the streets of and seeing those houses, the poverty was crushing. Kentucky, Georgia, Alabama, the poverty is crushing. So, A, fuck you for not going and fighting for those people in your own country, you liberal fuck. And B, the power outages there have nothing to do with our mismanagement of that island. It's not our island. That's their government. They fucked up. Fuck you, you fucking idiot. Go ahead.
Formative in the previous normalization agreement with Cuba that Barack Obama had orchestrated, and he was right. It was very sad to see, but then it was very angering. It was very anger-inducing because I felt like there was a lot of potential on this island that we were just robbing the people of, and it's totally cruel and totally unnecessary. And it was part of the reason why I went to Cuba, because I've heard a lot about, Cuban organizing, the Cuban government. I'd read a lot about it.
Sure.
I knew about the island's history of developing sovereignty, but I'd also heard about this blockade, right? And I wanted to figure out exactly how this blockade was harming people directly, and in many ways that are indirect, because the blockade itself is designed to be invisible. It's a system of sanctions. It's this bureaucratic nightmare that basically renders it impossible for the island to do regular commerce, just like any other country. Banks can't take out loans from any other banks. And you, as an American citizen, as a matter of fact, have a lot of restrictions on what you can and can't do, both on the island, or if you wanted to even send money, if you have relatives on the island. It's a very difficult process to directly send cash payments to your relatives as well. It's totally unnecessary. These rules are so arbitrary, and yet they're so damaging to everyone.
And nothing is ever said about it being a communist nation, or that Hassan Piker is a communist also. He is a straight up communist. He has said he's a communist. He is absolutely a communist. Cuba is a communist nation. Their politics, the way they base their society, has ruined their nation. And yeah, okay, they have some really cool 50s cars because they can't afford anything else. So they keep the old stuff going. You think that's something to praise? Yeah, I would love a Studebaker. That would be awesome to go ahead and, tootle around town in. But that's not that's what we're looking at some point. If we keep going down communist road, if people like this jackass ever get in power, we're done. We're not going to have any new cars. We're not going to have any new technology. We're not going to have any infrastructure. We're going to have blackouts. It's going to be an absolute shit show, and it's going to be all because of this communist bullshit. That's where we are.
Yep. And I again, when he's talking about these blockades and hindrances to commerce being
it's
arbitrary.
Fucking retarded. Yes.
Okay. First of all, let's have because he's able to just get on a national stage here and just say what he wants to say
with
and get
CNN
people emotionally invested. Yeah,
with
people are
CNN.
emotionally invested. Let's talk about those arbitrary, quote unquote, laws or sanctions that are put on, and let's talk about how we got there. Because I'm telling you right now, it wasn't just like Eisenhower woke up and it was like, you know what? Oh, I had the worst dream. Fuck Cuba. Fuck Cuba. Lock them down. They don't get to trade with anyone everywhere. They're done. That's not what happened. We had Russian nuclear submarines parked off the fucking coast. And we said, that's a no-go for us. That's 90 miles off the coast of one of our states. Absolutely not. And there was a long road of warnings and smaller sanctions that got us to where we are now. So as the leadership of a country, if you're going to tie your hitch to the Communist Manifesto in Russia or China or whatever dumb fuck country you want to say, then go ahead, hitch your trailer to that horse. Don't complain to us when it doesn't work out for you because you're a small, tiny little shit island in the Caribbean and you don't have the economic resources to actually make your island go by yourself and you're relying on the rest of the world and then it gets cut off. That's not on anyone else. That's on you. And so his entire argument is based on emotional, bias and not on any kind of facts or any kind of laws or any kind of how the fucking, again, we're back to this is how reality works, dipshit. And you're talking about dream world. It doesn't work that way.
One thing that I've noticed over time here is that, especially this took place during the Biden regime. We're going to go ahead and erase history, right? So we're going to go ahead and get BLM riots happen. We're going to go ahead and get rid of all the slavery, anything that even refers to slavery. So to Robert
mostly
Lee,
peaceful.
Yeah, mostly peaceful. Yep. I mean, how many cities were burning? Anyway, that's another story. You were going to get rid of all these statues, right? We're going to get rid of the history. So, this is all insulting. We're going to get rid of it. So what happens? You get this Democrat, socialist, Marxist regime that is absolutely the most fucking racist bunch of individuals that I think we've seen in years since the KKK ever came up. So you get rid of your history. So you're no longer, nobody thinks about it anymore. Right. So we can go ahead and be racist now and nobody will say, oh, well, they won't think about, the Robert E. Lee and they won't think about the, the 60s or the 50s and how shitty everything was. Because we actually got past all that stuff and the statues were just reminders of, hey, your country went through this and it was kind of fucked up. Don't do it again. That was the whole point. This asshole is up on CNN and he not once does he refer to China,
nope,
or Cuba being in bed with Russia for decades.
Yep.
Because if you're going to look at the cause and effect, if you're going to go in bed with Russia from point A to where you are now at point B, well, you have no infrastructure, you have no fuels, you have no resources, your people are in poverty. They're in the dark. They have food issues. They have no technology. It's an absolute. It is stuck in the 50s. It's not something to be fucking proud of. This is not this is a people that have been taken advantage of by communists, and they've been absolutely war torn. They've basically been sold out as mercenaries to be used against other regimes. That's their whole point in being. We saw it in Venezuela. Who was protecting Maduro? Cuban mercenaries. So when we look at stuff like this and you get a talking head like this Hassan fuck, this is the stuff that bothers me the most because we're going in, you have so many kids, so many young people that won't look in the fucking history book. They won't look at they're only going to get the history as it's been rewritten. And they're going to make the same fucking mistakes over again, only it's going to be done here. And that is absolutely frightening.
Yeah, it is. It's terrifying. And also, just to piggyback off what you're saying, if the Cuban government tomorrow were to get in contact with our government and say, hey, you know what? Look, we were last 60 years, we were fucking dead wrong. We were so off base. Our bad. We would like some aid. We would like to cut our ties with these other failed states or states that aren't helping us enough, Russia, China, whoever, Venezuela. We would like to play ball with you. We would like to make this happen for our people and start having some technology and some reliable food sources and energy sources. We would absolutely, again, 90 miles off of the coast of Florida is this other country. All they have to do is say, look, we would like to play ball. It doesn't mean you have to adopt our culture. It doesn't mean you have to adopt our politics. It doesn't mean that you even have to give up communism. It just means that you have to stop supporting these other failed countries and start saying, look, we want to play ball with you because we're in the Western Hemisphere and we'd like to be an ally. That's
Bring
it.
us up to
That's
the
all they have
1970s.
to say. Done. Yeah, exactly. Maybe the 80s. Easy enough, but they won't do it. And I understand pride. I have my own pride too. I have made many mistakes in my life because my pride got in my way, my ego got in my way. So I get it. But also I look back on those times and go, fuck, if I'd have just swallowed it a little bit, I could be in a very different circumstance right now. And that's where Cuba is as an entire country. And it's sad.
Hey,
That's what she said.
Yeah.
I found a cult for you to join.
Who?
Yes.
Are you busy?
Oh, all of us. All of us.
They were like, oh, I'm so scared to turn on because all of those terrible men will rape me. And I said, if you want to know the real way to deflect rape, it's to turn on 100%. Because then there's nothing to rape. Not only that, but with my experience is that a woman turned on 100% has every single man around her valley. Like, you know, if I was, who was I? Oh, I was talking to Kim and Mia about this yesterday. Like, I can go out on the street and I could just be like the Pied Piper with like a whole, I'd be like, oh my God, probably all these men are talking about, or I can go out on the street and I'm just be like totally 100% cloaked and invisible. That's the power we have. The problem with the victim story, for me, is that it takes away your power.
Nicole Dadone, 58, is the founder of One Taste, a sex-focused women's company. She had employees partake in group pleasuring sessions called orgasmic meditation. The orgasm cult leader, once endorsed by Gwyneth Paltrow and Khloe Kardashian, now faces 9 years of prison for coercing employees to have sex with clients. So in that clip, she flipped the script and said, I'm paraphrasing again, but the way I took that was, women, get out there and be the rapist.
I think did I miss it? Well, I don't know if I would go that far. I think she was saying, embrace your sexuality, want it, and then that way there's nothing to rape. Yeah.
Be the aggressor.
Right, but I mean, it's much harder to rape a man than it is to rape a woman. I mean,
absolutely. No,
right,
I
So
I totally get that.
Yeah,
but that was bizarre. That was bizarre. She's made millions of dollars, $12 million by putting this cult together. And she actually had her employees it looks like it's a brothel to me. That's what it seems like.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it definitely. I mean, look, the wife and I have gone back and we're watching Game of Thrones again for the third time. And we just love it. But I will tell you, in episode after episode, and it's not just a television show. it's reality. In episode after episode, the real power lies with the women. Women actually have way more power over men than they think they do.
Oh, absolutely.
Women want to fight it, and they're like, well, it can't just be about sex. I want it to be about, how smart I am or how capable I am or whatever. Look, the way you get us to acknowledge how smart and how capable you are, because you are, I'm not saying you're not, is by tempting us with sex. I'm not even saying you have to fuck the guy. I'm just saying you have to dangle it out there and say, look, this could be a possibility, but I need something from you. And a guy is going to jump as high as he can for you. And you women have, not all women, a lot of women, feminists, let me say that, feminists have given up their power by saying it can't be about sex anymore. Actually, it is. That's really it. Look, men are logical, and we are in positions of power, but at the end of the day, look how many men of power have been brought down by a side piece, by a hooker, by the honeypot. We are so gullible to that, and women actually run things and can influence men way more. That whole thing, behind every powerful man is a powerful woman. I fully believe that. I would not be who I am without the women in my life who've brought me here, and influenced me subtly sometimes, and sometimes just straight up, look, you're being a fucking asshole. You need to be doing these things. And it was all tied to my relationship with her. And I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going with this, other than to say this woman might have been onto something, but if you're running a brothel, that's kind of illegal these days. Like that's not the right way to do it. You're supposed to be there to empower women, not to subjugate them and force them into it. It can't be forced. That's not the way to do it.
Hefe, one of the reasons why I wanted to bring this one up, because I think this is a really good opportunity. It's a business opportunity. Your day job, one of your 19, you have some time occasionally. So you've got like 3 or 4 hours, once, you take care of your original business. How do we incorporate a sex cult into that 4 or 5 hours that you have left over? I don't know whether it's like advertising or it's, I don't know if that's something that I haven't been on Tinder, so I don't know if there's like a Tinder, like a red light that you can put on Tinder that says, hey, I'm available for like the next 20 minutes.
Like Uber Eats?
Yeah. Why don't we have an Uber Eats or DoorDash or like a Snatch Smash.
No, I like.
Why don't we have something like that? And Snatch Smash is now going to be on the list for possible show names.
That's fantastic. I mean, honestly, let's say you're door dashing for an extra whatever $150 tip. I'll do X, Y, and Z.
Boom.
Do you know how rich a woman specifically could get? I mean, I'm sure there's some guys that could pull it off too, but specifically a woman, how wealthy she could get, because there's guys that will pay it. Trust me.
Oh, yeah.
There are so many men out there that don't know how to talk to women, but if you show up with a bag of food and say, also, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z to you for an extra 150, they will pay it. They will pay it.
But then again, the legality.
Look, stop bogging me down with law. God damn it.
Just saying.
This is a good idea.
I agree, but we need to address all angles. You know what I'm saying?
Bondi's walking papers, Hefe's house of dong we deliver.
Oh shit.
Wait. So you're saying that I would service people?
Well, I think you start out there and then you branch out from there. You make it a franchise.
What was that
Loverboy.
movie with
I know
Patrick
where you're
Dempsey?
going. It's Loverboy. It's
Yes,
Loverboy.
yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah.
He delivered pizza and also, licked the
Yeah,
The bean.
giant,
Sure,
yeah, just
sure.
giant wang and yeah.
Dream job, dude. Dream job.
I mean, sign me up.
Yeah, me too.
Have you guys
You
seen
could-
those any of those videos of the it's usually women, but these people that get catfished by people posing as TV stars and shit like that? Have you seen any of
No.
those?
I
No.
haven't.
Dude,
No, what are you talking about?
I'll have to find one. But the one I saw the other day was I can't remember the guy's name. It was some young, hot actor, and like in his 20s. And the woman they were interviewing looked like she was in her 50s, gray hair, ponytail, and she was talking to them about how let's just call him Joseph. Joseph and I are soulmates. And they're like looking at her like, you fucking kidding me? Like, this is like some hot actor, like hot as in, popular.
Yeah.
And she's convinced that he singled her out. And then he has some, my ex-girlfriend or ex-wife or whatever, she's doing such and such. So my bank account's tied up. Is there any way you could swap me $300? And they're more than happy to do it. They send money to these people that they think are like TV stars, but they're just like.
But it's actually just some dude in Indonesia.
Yeah, or some homeless guy or what, some guy in his bedroom in his boxer shorts, just typing and sending an occasional picture of of the actor, just to be like, yeah, this is me. I went out jogging the other day or whatever. And it's these people get sucked in. It's amazing. It's amazing.
God, I mean, all joking aside, and I yes, to Susan's point, I mean, Moron of the Week award right there. But also, doesn't that really expose a really glaring flaw in our society? I mean, people are so desperately lonely. That they're willing to believe that this actor who's a 9 or a 10 is gonna be attracted to you as a 3 or 4. I mean, it's a mental illness, it's a sickness, and it's so prevalent in our society right now. It's shocking. I mean, it's really sad, but also, it's laughable. We can all joke about it, but it's really sad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hefe, out of actually, Fitz, you look very similar to Jason Statham. Let's be honest. You do have qualities there that, given, you could definitely step in a catfish at. Hefe,
Do you think I should perfect my English accent?
Absolutely. Why wouldn't you?
Get a little scruff going?
Hey,
Okay. All right.
Where are you at?
Yeah. Have you seen Transporter 3?
I love that movie.
It's a fantastic movie. The chick with the freckles, and then you're like fighting and you're taking off your clothes like the whole time to fight in like oil and stuff, and then like and she's just sitting there gushing because she's gonna like explode. Yes, you can totally fucking own that. Hefe,
Okay.
you are like once removed from Pierce Brosnan. You can so do this, both of you.
007.
See?
All right.
It doesn't work for me because I look closer to Louis C.K. and nobody wants that. So I'm thinking you guys are in.
No, dude. You got the whole Viking, big Viking guy thing going on. You could be one of those guys, that you don't know their name, but there's one of those guys on the Viking show or even Game of Thrones that's just some brawler back in the background that's just fucking shit up. That's you. You could do it too. You could be like, no, look, if you look in season 3, episode 4, Game of Thrones, I'm in the background decapitating a guy. Go back and watch. You could totally pull it off too, dude.
Hefe, do you want to hit your farm report?
Yeah.
Or do you want to talk about pig semen first?
Oh Let's put it first.
Oh boy, here we go.
Wow. All right.
This was such a wild story to me. First of all, the fucking picture. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm getting ahead of myself. Go ahead.
No. Please set us up by describing the picture.
Somebody designed a fucking milking table for a giant swine. This pig is
It is
literally
a
on
hog.
It's a hog, dude. He's laying on this thing, and he has the most shit-eating grin on his face. He is being pleasured right now. There's no doubt about it. It's a milking table for a fucking pig, and they took a picture of it, and the angle too is just like perfect because you can kind of see what's the genitalia, the crotch thing going on down there.
And somebody's
What
got a
the
hand
hell?
down there, and okay, and look at. Okay, if you look at the hog, okay, he's got this sneer on his face, like this is fucking great. This is amazing.
Yeah.
Look at his eyes are like glazed over. He's high as fuck, and he's got somebody down there just going to town on his hog. Double
And
hog.
can we talk about the fact that this apparatus has something dripping down it?
Oh, it's
look at all the drip
disgusting.
marks.
It's absolutely
just
fucking terrible.
It's what the hell?
Okay, but it gets worse.
It actually gets worse. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah, go.
Chinese scientists published a story showing that tiny natural bubbles extracted from pig semen can be turned into a safe to safe eye drops. These exosomes temporarily loosen the tight barriers in the eye, like the cornea and blood retinal barrier, thanks to a protein called EGF on their surface. This allows a loaded anti-cancer nanozyme drug to reach the back of the eye, retina, far better than regular drops. In mouse models of retinoblastoma, the eye drops dramatically shrank tumors to just 2.35%. Guys, I'm an awful person, and you guys know we all. I think we're all. Sometimes we're there, right? You go into the dark, right? You go into the dark depths, and the only thing I thought of was somebody getting a facial from a hog.
Mm-hmm.
But their cancer goes away.
You know, we need to get in that Hefe semen cures cancer when extracted.
Okay, that's where I was going with it, because I mean, you know, not my proudest moments, but it's all happened. I mean, it's happened to all of us. We've shot our load in the wrong area, the wrong place, and it's usually a bad day for your partner, right? I mean, it's you feel bad, they feel bad, you know, pink eye or whatever. But this could, like, what if you're like, babe, I am curing cancer. Just keep the eyes open. Here we go.
just lead into it, right? Can you please?
Yeah, come on, embrace this, because I'm curing your retinoblastoma.
This might be the most bizarre story we've ever had on the show. 'Cause
Crazy.
I can't deal with
How
hog facials. I can't.
No, and how did they even discover this? Like, hey, we've tried moose semen,
Clearly.
we've tried giraffe semen, elephant semen. Well, let's try pig semen. Let's just see what happens.
Clearly,
I mean, how do you get there?
But take it to the next level. It's not just pig semen. It's the bubbles in the pig semen.
Right.
It's
frothy.
This is off of disclosed.tv. Okay, it's in China. There's a study. The study's legit. It's here. Science advances. Science.org. Science.org. Okay, of all places.
It's a white paper at this point. It's a white paper. It's legit.
Dude, I just don't know what to do with that. I really don't.
I still can't get over the picture that they, it wasn't just like they put like some chemical symbol on there for the ESG or whatever the chemical was. No, they showed the pig getting jerked off in a milking table. What the fuck?
They're going through all these pictures. No, that hog. No, he's just a hog. No, not that guy. No, he's too dirty. No. Oh. That's the one. That's the one. Look at him. He's happy. He's getting jerked off.
It.
Oh, put that one in there. Put that one in there.
Everyone loves a happy pig. Print that one.
Oh God. Happy endings for pigs. Oh. Hefe, are you ready?
So yeah, so I told you guys that I was gonna try to get a farm report together, and my plan was to drive to the restaurant tonight, get there ahead of time, just so I'm there, and then go ahead and construct the farm report. And when I got there, like 45 minutes early, they were there already, and so I got attacked by my daughters, and so the farm report, we're gonna have to go with that plan B I told you about. We're gonna have to go with the clip that I found very amusing, and I wanted to share with you guys. And there's nothing more to it except just the clip. So if you want to,
all right. Well, let's get into the farm report then, huh?
All right.
All right. Set up this clip for us. I don't know what's going on here. We haven't seen it ahead of time like usual. So what do we got?
So basically, this is something that I found both fascinating and really funny. Parts of it. It's basically the clip explains it, but it's a bird, and it mimics different birds in the forest.
Has the most elaborate, the most complex, the most beautiful song in the world. And I guess there are lots of contenders, but this bird must be one of them. The superb lyrebird of South Australia.
He clears a space in the forest to serve as his concert platform. To persuade females to come close and admire his plumes, he sings the most complex song he can manage, and he does that by copying the songs of all the other birds he hears around him, such as the kookaburra. It's a very convincing impersonation. Even the original is fooled. He can imitate the calls of at least 20 different species. He also, in his attempt to outsing his rivals, incorporates other sounds that he hears in the forest. That was a camera shutter. And again. And now a camera with a motor drive. And that's a car alarm. And now the sounds of foresters and their chainsaws working nearby.
What bird has the most elaborate, the most complex, the most beautiful?
Bondi's walking paper in chat. I'm waiting for the porn sounds. Marco Wallace.
Nobody get him a smoke detector. Oh God! First of all, fucking amazing. And also, how bizarre. How bizarre.
How the fuck did you find that?
I don't know. But
I watched that
What is
original show. I watched that whole thing. That was the BBC's Amazing World or whatever. I mean, that's David Attenborough. I watched that whole series. I remember that and it being like, what the fuck is going on? That was probably 10, 15 years ago now, but I mean, it's a great show, but
So
yeah,
you
that
actually
clip is
saw
crazy.
that one?
I did. I watched
So
all
that
those
was
like
real.
2 or
That
3
wasn't
times.
somebody just. That wasn't somebody just.
No.
Just dubbing in.
No.
Because
that's
I'm
real.
sitting here thinking, I really want to do this and just like start adding porn noises and I don't know.
Nope.
A hog getting jerked off. Maybe Ketanji Brown Jackson. Saying stupid shit. Oh my God! How did?
No,
how
that's
did you-
100% real. They are
That is
mastic
just
mimics.
amazing.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
That's
Shane.
amazing. God, Hefe, I gotta tell you, we don't get enough of you. So having you for a good 40 minutes straight tonight is absolutely fantastic.
Yep.
But on behalf of the listeners, I mean, I don't know, maybe not, but I don't know how you fucking find this stuff. Your algorithm is I've seen the other stuff that you come up with in our chat, and it's like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
That scares me a little bit. And then you come up with this stuff, which obviously your algorithm gave you. Like, hey, oh, he needs this. Here, have this fucking bird. And I don't. Very well done.
Yeah, well, I thank you. I thank you, phone and algorithm. But yeah, I mean, it must have been like, oh, it's Thursday. The show's coming up here pretty quick. We better throw him a bone.
You clearly need this.
Well, I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to throw shade or anything, but I mean, let's not forget Hannerhan. Okay, I know there's been some beef, but Hannerhan comes through too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't want to give him too much credit, but we do recognize him, like, once in a while.
That's right.
Good old hand.
Hey, is he off of probation?
No.
Oof.
No.
It's tough. It's tough.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, look, either he proves himself or he doesn't.
Yeah, he's trying. We'll give him credit for that. We'll see. We may have to, go another direction.
Well, look, I mean, an A for effort doesn't always translate to, A performance on the field, right?
Right.
I mean,
Hey.
I could try as hard. I could give 100% effort. I'm still not going to make the NFL. Sometimes you're not cut out for it.
Yep, sometimes it happens. Sometimes monkeys die.
Good quote.
Hefe, if you do decide to put an ad out for a new assistant, what exactly are you looking for? I know Nong didn't work out, which was unfortunate. I thought she was going to do that. I thought she was going to hit Priya, but it didn't work.
Well, yeah, I mean,
things got so sexual so fast with Nong. I think, that's tough. I mean, there was no relationship to build on. It was just like, here, look at these titties,
and this cock.
and that, yeah, and that too, and that's hard to work with. It's hard,
Yeah, and it's a package.
Literally, it's very hard.
Yes, it's extremely hard.
Yeah.
That's just who Nong is. It's a package deal with her,
Yeah, but when you're doing the farm report though, there should be a line, right? You're reporting and not making yourself part of the story, and I think that's where things went sideways.
Right. Yep. That's a great point.
That is a really good point. Well said. Well said.
Yeah.
Fitz, what beer are you taking to bed?
I gotta go with the quad, my first beer, from Una. Again, I'm sorry I'm butchering it. Una Ani. Yeah, fucking fantastic beer actually. That one only got better as it warmed up. And I think because it just got a little less viscous and just went down smoother. But really solid quad. And I was thinking about it. I don't think I've had a quad or even a triple for a long time on the show. So maybe it's just, kind of the dearth of having these things, the experience of it. But I really enjoyed that beer, and it's making me want to have some more beers in that Abbey style, that farmhouse style. Nothing against the left-hand chocolate. I just, again, it smelled better than it tasted. It was a little lacking on the taste end of it. So, that girl that we've talked about on the show before, but she's really amazing to look at, and then she just lays there like a dead fish in bed. Like there's no substance.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where the left hand went. But that Abbey was fantastic. So how about you? Which one are you taking to bed?
I'm taking Black Mariah, which is, I think that's kind of predictable. Which sucks,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I kind of set myself up for that. Only thing that would have, if the IPA always has a shot, right? But it has to be perfect, and that just wasn't going to happen tonight. But it was good. Both beers were really, really good. I'd take Black Mariah. Not my favorite Imperial Stout by any means, but one of the things that I do enjoy about this is that it's an Arizona beer. It's by Tombstone Brewing. It's a fantastic
Tombstone's great.
American Imperial, and that also puts a little bit. That means a little bit more. So, I did like
home
it
field advantage. Yeah.
All right, we are going to wrap things up. Aaron, if I had to say it, Pod, Duchess, and John Jamingo from Boomer Bunker, thank you for joining us tonight. Susan, Lisa, L, you came in right after the second half of the show started. Thanks for coming in and joining us.
Yep.
Susan, thank you so much for being here. Easter's tomorrow. Have a happy Easter. I hope all the churches stay intact and there aren't any terrorist events, because that's what I'm kind of concerned about for tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I hope everybody has a great holiday and everything goes smoothly. And Cadbury eggs, big fan.
He has risen.
Wait, were we talking about Christ, or are we talking about George Floyd?
Oh, sorry. No, I was admiring myself. Sorry.
Oh, you're talking. Whoa. All right. And he has risen. He has.
Sorry, I didn't know this was a live mic. My bad. I thought I muted it.
All right. So he has risen is now a possible. So I could totally put just fits with a boner tent and just leave that as the show art. That's.
Sorry, you brought up Cadbury eggs, and I just got a little crazy.
Instant, yeah. I hear you. They do a little something to me too.
Yeah,
I feel it. Yeah. All right, let's wrap stuff up. I'm Steve McShane.
I'm Fitz.
I'm happy.
Think critically.
Act accordingly.
We'll talk to you soon.